Before we get to accuracy, I just want to go over something. So, the most common knock I hear on Will Levis is that he's just really inaccurate. And I found that odd because when I watched the film, I found he was accurate on 81.72% of the 186 aimed passes I graded. That's a higher accuracy percentage than anybody else in this draft class, like by a wide margin. So, just to double check myself, I went and saw what PFF's adjusted completion percentage thought. And they seem to agree with me, at least directionally. CJ Stroud was accurate on 72.8% of passes, according to PFF. And Bryce Young was accurate on 77.4%, which is much higher than Stroud, which is odd considering Stroud is supposed to be the ball placement expert. Will Levis was accurate on 75.6% of his aimed passes, according to PFF. And that's over the entire 2022 season. Well, that's weird because that's significantly better than CJ Stroud, and yet they say that Levis has accuracy problems. So what's going on? Well, there's a little bit of context that's needed. Will Levis threw downfield way less than the other players. His average depth of target was just 8.6, whereas Stroud's was 10.7 and Young's was 10.0. But if we're going to add that context, why not keep going? Because there's a lot more to add. Stroud had incredible receivers and incredible blocking and incredible coaching, right? Ryan Day is awesome. Marvin Harrison is arguably the best receiver prospect I've ever seen. And while he's throwing downfield, he's throwing to way larger windows because he's also got a ton of blocking. He's got 2 tackles that are going to go in the first round of this draft, right? Meanwhile, Will Levis is playing with dudes who are going to be, roping cattle soon. It's not good. To a lesser degree, Bryce Young had the same thing going on. His wide receivers weren't as great, but they're still a heck of a lot better than the defensive backs at Austin Peay, Utah State, Louisiana Monroe, Vanderbilt. And as I said earlier, Will Levis is playing with absolute scrubs all over. His weaponry was awful. His offensive line was inexcusably bad. And his offensive coordinator was so bad that he got fired after 1 year as Kentucky's offensive coordinator. But if you're getting fired with a guy getting drafted at quarterback, you've messed up pretty badly. I'm not arguing that Will Levis is a complete prospect or that he's super accurate, but I don't understand all these knocks on his accuracy saying it's terrible. Again, 81.72 for Levis versus 71.4 for Stroud and 69 for Young. That's a huge difference. Now, what's going on? It's a lot of those routine throws, a lot of those short passes I mentioned earlier. But let's say you strip out all the screens and the checkdowns and the pop passes and all the easy little stuff that anybody can hit that Will Levis relied on a lot. He ran a ton of those routine plays. I call this stat accuracy plus. It's down here at the bottom. His accuracy percentage rather, if you just take out all the easy gimmies that he completed, is still 57. That's remarkably high. The league average in the NFL is about 46. The average in this draft class is about 46. CJ Stroud, if you take out all those gimmies, only 43.8. Bryce Young, if you take out all the gimmies, about 43. When you add context, it looks like Will Levis's accuracy problems are unfounded. Now, there are other issues with his game, several, and most of them are mental. But accuracy isn't one.